Rumi drove hard down the crowded court. Every shot landed clean on the rim. Teammates whispered she could win the game. Jinu watched bitter from the other side. Zoey glared quietly at every cheer. Jealous anger rising in her chest. After practice, Rumi stayed to shoot. Zoey called saying coach needed her now. Rumi followed straight to the storage hall. Never saw Jinu hiding by the door. Metal slammed loudly as the gate locked shut. Zoey slipped latches tight from outside. Inside, Rumi yelled, knocked the walls, but the soundproof room swallowed every call. Flashing lights flickered through the broken ceiling, then out again across the court. Mira noticed Rumi gone wire. Her specials marked the trail, running fast towards Storm. Cold air hummed through the empty hall. Footsteps echoed as Mira approached. She heard faint knocking behind the door, heart pounding as she pushed ahead. Jinu stepped out saying repairs in here. Mira ignored him and moved to pass. Zoey rushed forward trying to hold her back. Mira slid sideways, keeping both at bay. She pulled a pallet, sweeping it aside. Forced Zoey stumbling into Jinu's stance. As both faltered, Mira seized her chance. Reached the lock fast and tore the bolt free. Rumi burst outward, gasping for air. Mira held tightly, helping her stand. Lights buzzed loosely as they walked outside. Warm relief settling in Mira's chest. They ran down the court, past the lines, holding tight as teammates turned in worry. Evening wind blew through the empty bleachers, then out again to the lights. Rumi reached the center just as all her strength returned to her. Mira standing calm beside her side. Warm sun faded on the practice floor. Team looked back with grateful eyes. Rumi exhaled steady with Mira close, knowing she'd been saved in time. Zoey and Jinu hid behind the shed, frustration rising as their plans collapsed. Rumi and Mira walked the court again, holding strong. Where trust still Rumi climbed swiftly up the final wall. Coaches praised every move she made. Zoey watched quietly from the padded floor, jealous tension growing in her chest. Practice ended, but Rumi stayed behind. Chose the hardest route to climb again. Zoey slipped backward to the rear support, loosened one handhold halfway up the wall. Rumi moved upward, gripping each new hold, reached the midpoint where the anchor shook. Metal snapped loudly under her weight. Rumi dropped straight down between the mats. Mira heard the crash, turned at once, ran full speed to find where Rumi had fallen. Saw two heavy mats jammed tightly together, then down again to the gap. Mira tried pulling, but the weight refused to shift at all, calling Rumi. her breathing and her injured arm. Warm relief settled when she stayed upright, though Rumi struggled through the pain. They crossed the white floor, past the halls, moving slow as Zoe watched from distance. Gym lights flickered on the chalk-stained wall, then out again through the doors. Rumi leaned on Mira while the climbing roots blurred behind. Zoe frozen where the mat still lay. Noise died slowly through the empty gym. Cold air settled in the quiet space. Rumi breathed steady though her arm burned faint. Mira walking close to guide her out. Zoe still shaking near the falling gear. Tears rolled down as regret hit hard. Rumi and Mira left without a word, leaving Zoe alone beneath the wall. Was crowned for the biggest award. Reporters circled as her name lit screens. Mira stood watching with a tight-drawn stare, jealous anger rising while the staff praised Rumi. She crept backstage to the direction board, ripped the arrows off and swapped the signs. Rumi walked calmly toward the Marhart's route, stepped inside the lift. Mira trapped with a switch. Zoe saw seconds slip past the mark. Noticed Rumi missing from the call. Wrong way, arrows pointed through the wings. Told her something wasn't right at all. She ran down the stairs past the cranes, searching fast to find where Rumi was trapped. Mira blocked her with a claim about new plans, then threw again past the frost. Zoe hit override until the frozen lift unlocked, pulling Rumi out before her voice grew faint. Cold air drifted through the echoing vents. Footsteps echoed in the narrow aisle. Zoe held tightly as she scanned the room, hearing Rumi breathe against the cold. Mira stepped backward with a shaking stare. Zoe pushed past, seeing through the light. Rumi stepped forward, pale beneath the lights. Zoe wrapped blankets round her trembling frame. Both moved quickly up the central ramp. Crowds grew louder as the theme song played. Rumi breathed deeper when the door swung wide. Warm beams falling on her path again. They ran down the aisle past the screens, holding tight as stage lights open above. Voices rose while every spotlight circled, then out again to the floor. Rumi reached the podium just as all the cheers began to rise, smiling steady under glittering gold. Flashbulbs were spread her with each applause. So we watched softly from the shattered wing, relieved to see Rumi standing tall.